guys, this is part 2 of our west side planting project. So today we're going to go ahead and run all of the irrigation to the boxwoods that we just got through planting. We're absolutely loving this whole area. It's starting to come together and it just feels good to see something green over here because it was just a dirt patch for months. So I've got some of the supplies over here, so let me take you over and show you some of the things we're going to be using. So we've got 1/2 inch black poly tubing, and this is just a solid tube. There's no emitters in it. Then we've got a whole bunch of the 1/2 inch dripper tube that has little emitters every 18 inches that emit 1 gallon per hour. So I think we've got 4 rolls of that. We've got landscape staples. This will help tack all of the tubing down to the ground. Then our couplers here, and it's always nice to just have a bunch of each type. So we've got T's, there are corners, and straight couplers here. And then there's some adapters here. So we're tapping all of this irrigation tubing into our existing irrigation system. So we're going from 1 inch pipe to drip. So these are the pieces we're using, and I'll explain that a little bit better when we get over to our irrigation box. We've also got some PVC glue and primer, and then a rubber mallet. And Erin is out here. We're doing this project together, so hopefully it goes a lot quicker than the actual boxwood planting went. So there are the irrigation boxes, and those were put in last year. When we brought water over to the vegetable garden area. We did have them run 4 extra zones for us because we knew we were going to need them. We knew we were going to be planting up this whole section out there, so we were going to need the water. This one runs to our lavender that's right in front of the garden space. This one is being utilized for containers. There's a 3/4 to 1/4 inch adapter right there, so you can see the little 1/4 inch black tubing that runs up to the containers in front of the vegetable garden. And then these 2 are available. So they just have caps on the top. We're going to take the cap off of one of them, and then we're going to use this piece right here. So this is actually 2 pieces. So what we'll do is we will put PVC primer and glue on that piece, and then just, you know, put it down like that. And then we'll use this threaded piece and connect it. And then our black poly tubing will run right to the source. So if you guys aren't tapping into an irrigation system like we are, there is a piece that looks very similar to this. It has the same end where you can push your drip tubing in, but the other end will be a female instead of a male end, so it can just be hooked right up to your hose bib. So you don't have to have an irrigation system, you can just run it off of a hose. Let me take you over and show you where this is gonna run. So it'll run right underneath the fence, and we'll just tack it along the ground right alongside the brick path here. And then the guys that put in the path, they put in a pipe that went underneath the pathway with just 2 empty tubes that just go to nowhere, just so that we had access. So we're gonna tap into one of the tubes and it'll come over here, and then we'll just start running all of our drip tubing. And this process is actually, it kind of sounds complicated, but it happens pretty fast. Like, I think we'll probably get it done here. What do you think, an hour? Yeah, probably. Maybe. And you know, we see a lot of questions about what our water bill must be like. We run our place off of a well, thankfully. City water, it would be like probably not doable. Don't you think? No. Like we have about 2 acres. Running city water on 2 acres would be astronomical. But when we're putting in drip tubing, it's so much more efficient than watering with regular sprinklers. We did all the math, and based on what we were watering just in grass on this west side area, we're cutting our water usage down by about half. Because when you use the drip emitters, it's super efficient. You can run them right to where you need them to go, and we're not trying to keep as many plants alive either. I mean, grass takes an enormous amount of water. The drip tubing lays under mulch, so we're not losing any to wind or not much to evaporation either. So it's a win, I think. All right, let's do this. wanted to stop and give you an update because we are halfway done. We even buried the hole here where our water access was. And what we did is we started right here in this corner and we ran a single tube all the way down to past the third maple. And we're breaking this up in half and running 2 zones because we wanted to run quite a bit of drip tubing and we want there to be enough pressure. So we ended up with 5 drip tubes all the way down, and that should be pretty good coverage. In fact, we're gonna wait to mulch for a couple of days so we can run the system and see just how good of coverage we get. So this is where we ended, right here, and you can see there's still a little ways to go, so we'll work on that in a second. So we did the first one all the way down and then ran kind of a straight, it kind of got misshapen along the way, and then did an elbow and then ran this one along the other side. Then we ran the center one and then the ones in between. And by running 5 drip tubes, we were able to pretty much run one by every single boxwood, which is really important because this area gets brutal sun for almost the entire day. And I do want you to note what our soil looks like. This is our native soil, you guys. White, dry, cracked. That is why I'm always adding soil amendments in and a really good layer of mulch. So got that done. It sits a little bit high, but it doesn't really matter. It's kind of good to see where everything's running anyway. And then the tubing goes underneath the gravel, around this box, around this side of the fence, and then it's out right there. So you can see it where it kind of swoops back over. And all of that will be covered with mulch. Hey Russell, what are you doing, buddy? You been sleeping somewhere? I haven't seen you for a while. Just got this side done and it feels so good to have this part of the project complete. This is where the tubing came underneath the sidewalk and kind of underneath that brown tube, and then it connected there. And then on the other side you can see where it came out, and we just ran it straight back and along the fence with the menagerie of other tubing things we've got going on. We've got a few more things to plant over here and drip tubing to run on this side before we mulch. Aaron is over in the vegetable garden messing with the irrigation timer thing, so I think we're gonna try to get these both started and running so we can see what kind of water coverage we get. You ready to fire it up?
Yeah, I think so. Let me give this a shot.
So we've got it hooked, all the zones hooked onto a timer here. Let me get close. It's called a hunter node. Oh, I hear water.
It should be going.
Let's go take a look. Oh yeah, look at that, you guys. So nice. Getting things hooked up on a drip system, and I've said it like a million times, but it's so nice, so worth the effort. And it's so funny that I thought when we very first came out here to plant the boxwoods, I told Aaron, let's just plant all the boxwoods, run the irrigation and mulch all in one day in one video. Now it's turning into 3. So this is the second part. We'll come back with the third part where I'm going to be topping the boxwoods before we mulch. So I just want to clean them up just a little bit and kind of make them all a little bit uniform on the top at least, and that'll help them kind of stool out and thicken up a bit, a little faster. And that way I don't get a big mess right on top of my brand new mulch. So I'll do the topping of the boxwoods and then we'll mulch hopefully in one video, and then that, like, we can just put this project to bed. Is that the right saying?
I think so.
Yeah, so I hope this video was interesting to you guys, and I hope too that it maybe gave you, those of you who don't have a drip system set up, a little push to get it done, because you can do it yourself. I mean, and you don't even have to have an irrigation system. You can hook it right up to your hose bib, and it just makes life so much easier. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll be back with part 3 here very soon, and that way you can see a finished product. Thanks so much. Bye.